5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. No, I'm not a helicopter pilot, but I am on a drive to work, which is the greatest time for me to get my thoughts out about MMA. So listen, this is going to be one that I want you guys, my listeners, to get into my comments and tell me your opinions on this. Now, just a disclaimer before I get started. These are only my opinions. You're happening across my video and you've never really watched my channel before. What I do on here is express my opinions about MMA and things related to MMA. These are only opinions, guys. I am not a communist. I am an American. I have been all of my life, and I support all of the freedoms that we enjoy here in the United States. These are only opinions. All right. I was reading an article the other day, and Dana White was saying he felt like Colby broke the man code in the pre-fight build-up against Jorge Masvidal. Dana has been very expressive throughout the years that as far as promoting these fights, pretty much anything goes, except for he would love it if guys would leave other fighters' families and religion out of it. Because anytime you start talking about those things, folks tend to get a little bit in their feelings. You know, we can think back to when the Conor and Khabib fight is a perfect example of this. And, you know, Conor had talked about Khabib's father. Conor had talked about Khabib's religion. And you saw what happened when that fight was over with. Khabib literally scaled the cage wall and went after Conor's team. And Khabib's not even that type of guy. You know, he's a very devout religious man. So for him to get that emotional, that lets you know that sometimes these things do go a little bit too far. Colby, during the pre-fight build-up, you know, continued to badger Masvidal's ex-wife, his children, all of those things. And obviously this did bother Masvidal. But there's something else that Colby did that I felt like could have pushed that button of pushing it too far, because it's one thing to hype the fight. You know, it's one thing to go after the person you are fighting in hopes of selling more pay-per-views, building up the hype for that particular fight. Now, it's completely another thing to attack a media person. And that's what I wanted to talk about. I don't know how many of you guys saw it, but there's a media guy who's one of the top ones for the UFC. He has a podcast, and he's also, in these pre-fight press conferences, he is one of the first guys to ask a question. And his name is John Morgan. He is a heavy-set individual. Now, Colby refused to answer John Morgan's questions and insisted that John Morgan get down and do 10 push-ups before Colby would even agree to answer his questions. Obviously, we live in this day and time where we are not only encouraged, but in a lot of ways forced to be accepting of people's varying lifestyle choices. We are in an anti-bullying era where it's really looked down upon to bully folks that may be less fortunate than you. And when I saw this, guys, I literally felt like I was watching one of those movies where the high school jock was picking on the fat kid. Literally, John Morgan ultimately just said, fair enough, and he sat down and didn't even ask any more questions. So I'm laughing about this because it's almost appalling. And again, you know, this is media, this is entertainment. So I am understanding of the fact that maybe Colby didn't mean it. You know, maybe he was just, this was another attempt to sell his character as that heel. It could have been that. But at the same time, when we live in this era where it's really frowned upon to bully people, and then here we have Colby Covington, high school and college athlete, and is at the top of his game now in MMA. picking on the fat kid. So I just want to know what your guys' thoughts are on this. Now, obviously, this is America. It's freedom of speech. And furthermore, these guys are in the entertainment business. So I get it. I'm not really saying it was wrong or it was right. But I just know that we live in this era, 2022, of anti-bullying. You know, there's been a lot of awareness raised in the last several years to the idea of bullying and even online bullying, and that it's been a huge problem. And a lot of high-powered individuals have really spoken out against this. And I just want to know, what do you guys think about that? Do you think Colby crossed the line when he bullied John Morgan in the pre-fight press conference? And do you think that at some point the UFC should maybe step in and say, hey, man, hey, whatever you want to say about another fighter is fine, but leave the media guys alone. You're not fighting the media guys. You're fighting Jorge Masvidal, or you're fighting Khabib, or whoever it is. Now, I want to know what you guys think about this. Leave a comment down below. Hey, if you enjoy the content, please do subscribe. You know, I look at my analytics and I can see there's a lot of folks that are watching my videos but have not subscribed to the channel. If you enjoy the content that I bring to you, I would really appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching Full House MMA. I'll see you next time.